All right, welcome to Two Guys, One Take. I'm Noah, and that is Turner and Turner. The Pacers have eliminated Giannis and the Bucks, and maybe the Giannis era. What do you think?
Man, I tell you what, if that was me at the end of the game and I just lost the series and probably are never going back to that town again, I would have whooped the shit out of Tyrese Haliburton's dad. I don't give a fuck. I would at least give him like one quick backhand. Giannis probably could have backhanded him and just sent him to like the other side of the court. That guy is small. I have no idea how Tyrese Haliburton is the size he is, unless his mom is like fucking 7 feet tall or some shit. But that was hilarious, and I'm glad it ended like that. But I wish there was some sort of brawl just to like close the chapter of like Pacers Bucks.
Yeah, I saw Giannis after the game. He gave a really good answer, like when they asked him about the altercation in the media, where he was basically saying, you know, that's great that you're supposed to be humble even when you win, things like that, which I thought was great. But I thought it was funny that he didn't know that was Halliburton's dad, and he just thought some fan was coming up to him, like apparently talking shit to him, and that's even funnier to think like Giannis just thought it was like just a guy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he would have handled it any different if he knew it was Halliburton's dad. Like, I wouldn't. And
No,
then it's
yeah,
so hard to like pick a side after because like Halliburton came out and he was like, "Yeah, my dad shouldn't be doing that. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'll go apologize to Giannis." And Giannis was just like, "Yeah, I don't like that stuff happens. Like, I'm glad I kept my composure," kind of a thing. And everyone was all cool. I'm like, I want the beef, man. Especially, who knows where he's gonna go next year? Obviously, the Bucks aren't gonna be shit because
yeah.
it's just tough with that roster. Um, but yeah, I wanted like the Tyrese Halliburton and Giannis beef to live on.
I know, yeah. Tyrese came out and did the right thing, basically saying, "Hey, my dad was in the wrong, and we're going to talk about it." And he already had talked to Giannis. I mean, Giannis is just a cool guy in terms of like he even didn't get into details on what was said because he didn't want anybody to get fined, and he kind of kept it pretty vague. But I thought that answer was awesome. But he also did throw in there like, "I've won a championship and you guys haven't, so
Yeah.
maybe
Which
just
is
maybe just sit the fuck down."
Yeah, which is the ultimate like I don't need to fight or do anything about anything. I mean, if
Yeah,
he didn't win a shit, could have been a different story, but
yeah,
he did handle it very well. I don't
yeah.
think any other personality in the NBA would have handled it like that. Um, but also just plays into the like everyone hating Tyrese Halliburton for no reason.
And the Pacers in general.
Yeah.
The Pacers are like, I feel like that whole reaction, not even just his dad, but like them getting on Twitter afterwards and saying like overrate that, and Miles Turner posted something too, and I just think I'm happy that they won. I think they're a good team, but they also, similar to like when Memphis beat Golden State in the, or they beat them in one game. They didn't even win the series, but they beat them in a big game, and they started playing whoop that trick in Memphis. I just feel like it's like, hey, like you guys haven't won shit. Like maybe just for two
Yeah.
seconds, like just chill, maybe.
Yeah. No, I thought that was hilarious too, but what a fucking all-time meltdown by Gary Trent Jr. at the end there.
Which
Started
I feel,
talking shit after he made like two or three threes. I was like, dude, this is gonna be bad. Cause what? There was like 2 minutes left. I think they were up like seven or something, and then just in the meltdown, the ball ultimately found his hands and just like right through. What, he had two turnovers at the end of the game for them to come back.
two straight possessions, he fucked it up.
Shit can't happen, man. Especially when you're talking shit like that. That always
Yeah,
happens. Whenever you talk shit, the ball finds you, and like nothing good ever happens.
and I kind of felt for him in the moment because I think I saw something crazy afterwards. Like Gary Trent Jr. has had 0 games all season where he's had 30 plus points and hit 8 plus threes, and then he's had two this series, but both of them were losses. I'm pretty sure, and
Crazy.
so yeah, I couldn't believe that was how the game ended. You know what's crazy though is that the Bucks are so incompetent despite the fact that they have a top three player that even when they were up 6 or 7 with like 40 seconds left, I still felt like the Pacers were in the game and that they could win, and then they did. But like The Bucks have been so incompetent that I didn't feel like I was like, oh, I could turn this off. Like, no, I felt like it could still happen. So
Yeah. I mean, we said at the beginning of the series that the Bucks have one of the worst like 10-man rotations in the playoffs. And it's so tough like watching Michael Porter Jr. or not Michael Porter Jr. but Kevin Porter Jr. play
Kevin,
and fucking uh Kyle Kuzma too.
Kuz,
It's
Brooke
tough.
Lopez out there just stumbling around with his big tree, like
Dude,
looking at us.
do you see all the tweets of Brooke Lopez at the end of the game dapping up the Pacers
Yeah,
mascot?
yeah.
Dude, that shit was all time. Everyone's like beefing and fighting, and then Brooke Lopez is just great series, man. We'll see
Hey,
it.
it's a good thing that Bud isn't the coach anymore. That's why Bol got taken out of the rotation in Phoenix because they were all fighting and he started shooting layups on the side. And he took him out of the rotation.
I
My
mean,
God, Bol. So good thing Buck. It's a good thing he's not with the Bucks anymore.
yeah,
That
that
was
is
insane.
true. That was insane. But as far as play in that game, nothing. Uh, we both kind of saw the ending inevitably. Whether the Pacers would have lost that game or yeah. So and then
Yeah, the Bucks
Giannis,
season was cooked.
we don't know about Giannis. Well, I heard you got a couple takes on our boy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think this is just going to be the off season that he's going to finally ask out. There's not a lot of basically the Bucks and the Suns are the two franchises that are in this position where they don't own any of their picks. They've got nobody, in the Bucks situation, they've got the only person on their roster that has any trade value is Giannis. Kuzma has no value after he tanked it the rest of this season. Dame is obviously sadly, his
Done.
Achilles, so he's out for the year, so his trade value is zero as well, especially with his contract. So they're just and they don't own any of their first round picks until 2032, similar to the Suns. So they're in a terrible spot. There's going to be obviously a bidding war over him, but there's really only a few teams that actually have something that I think the Bucks would actually take in return because since the Bucks don't have their picks, they can't just bottom out like the Nets did and just trade everybody and start 100% over. They need to stay sort of competitive because they don't own their own pick, so there's no incentive for them to just suck. So a few teams that I thought of that I think or that just seem kind of obvious to me, and I think these are going to be the ones that everybody starts talking about are the first one that people are going to throw out is the Nets because they're going to have the most cap space, and it's New York technically still, even though it's not the Knicks. Um, they have picks to give, and I believe they even have a Milwaukee pick maybe that they could give them back. I'd have to look into that, but the only reason I don't see that working is because I don't know what they're going to give to the unless they get like a third team involved and they're bringing somebody of value to the Bucks. I know that's going to get thrown out a lot as the Nets being a team, but I just don't. I don't see it. I don't think they're going to have the best offer, which is where a team that I think could give them a little bit of a better offer that I know is going to get thrown out there is the Rockets. The Rockets are like, if you watch the series, I mean, so they're winning currently right now in this game, but still a long way to go. They're going to lose this series to the Warriors though, unless something crazy happens, and they clearly just need like a go-to star player. I usually like to keep young cores together like the Rockets. They're all really young, but they do have too many guys. Like Reed Shepard can't even see the floor. Cam Whitmore can't even see the floor. So they have a move to be made for Giannis. I think they're going to have probably one of the most enticing offers because they could get some pretty good players thrown in there. I mean, I think it would take them Amen Thompson being in the deal, which would hurt, but you're getting Giannis in return. So I think they have the best offer to make, but for some reason, I just don't see that. The two that I think are kind of sleeperish to watch out for are the Spurs
Damn.
and the Raptors. The Spurs, just because they do have young players to give and awesome picks from other teams that are not very good right now. And selfishly, the idea of Wemby and Giannis on the court together is just
So sick.
awesome to me and would just be must watch
Yeah.
television all the time. And I think they would be, I mean, definitely something to not mess around with in the West. I don't know if they would have the best offer to give, but if Giannis is controlling the process at all, he decides that that's a place he wants to go, I could see it happening. And then Toronto is a weird one, but Toronto could basically just give Scotty Barnes and picks, and the salaries would match. The Bucks could get another guy they could try and build around, and the uh, I forget the name of the GM for Toronto, but he's basically been obsessed with getting Giannis there since like Giannis was a prospect. So I don't think Giannis would necessarily want to go to Toronto, but if they have the best offer and the Bucks like um, Scotty Barnes, that's another one I was thinking about. And then lastly, the weirdest way this could go. I was thinking about this because the Suns and the Bucks are both in the worst position probably of anybody in the league. I wouldn't want either of their positions as a GM. What if Giannis is like, "Hey, I do want to stay. You guys just need to figure this roster out somehow for me." And what if the Bucks call up the Suns and they're like, "Hey, my problem for your problem. We'll go Dame for Beal, just straight like that, and we can just do that. So you guys can get rid of the Beal contract and his no trade clause. We can get off the Dame contract, and then maybe the Suns look at that and they're like, well, we don't have the no trade clause to worry about anymore. It is a lot of money. He's not going to play this year, but maybe we could flip him." And then the Bucks, maybe that's enough for Giannis to basically just be like, all right, let's move Kuzma for somebody. Let's maybe try and get back into this draft by moving Kuz and run it back. I want to stay in Milwaukee. I already have a ring. I like it here. That's the weirdest scenario I thought of, which I think there's like a 2% chance that would ever happen, but I had to throw it out.
The only scenario I really like, and it could be the best fucking thing ever, is if Dallas.
Dallas? Oh my God.
Dallas would be wild. I mean, that would be like Nico's last hope to save his job. If he did something crazy, but I don't know what he would have to give up to get Giannis.
I'm trying to think like the trade would have to be basically give me if I'm Milwaukee, I'm like give me every every pick that you
Yeah.
could possibly give me in the deal. I want all of them. And then you just take on salaries, I guess, at that point, because they're going to want to keep AD and Giannis together, which is kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like a different version of the Wemby Giannis thing. So
Hmm.
that would be interesting,
I
especially if
mean,
Kyrie could return later in the season.
that's what I'm saying. Like Kyrie, AD, and Giannis, that would be stupid.
And then if you're
That'd be
a
like,
Mavericks fan, you like don't know how to feel. You're like, do I
yeah,
still hate Nico Harrison or what? What do I do?
I feel like I'd be back. If I was that franchise and I was a fan of that franchise, I'd be so back. With Giannis, I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
Giannis is easy to root for.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah,
was one thing with Luca just because he started there, and it was like that was their guy, and
and
they
Derek
took
passed a torch to him.
the he took him to a finals with his fucking zero team.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I like the Spurs fit. I think the Spurs fit would be sick.
that would be
Um,
sick because he could like literally guide Wemby into like taking over his shoes, but at least he can shoot a three, kind of a thing.
yeah, exactly. And Wemby kind of wants to be away from the basket despite how big he is. You can just tell he likes to operate that way. Whereas Giannis, I think, is gonna, as he gets older, keep getting closer and be almost more of like a traditional center that can just handle the ball a little better. So
Yeah,
I like that fit. But watch out for the
yeah.
Raptors, I'm telling you.
I like it. I like all those teams, honestly. I mean, the Suns and Bucks, like one for one, would be kind of weird.
That would
I
be
mean, especially
hilarious.
because I feel like Dame honestly might retire. I mean, if I was Dame, I'd probably hang it up.
Well, he is gonna stick it out because his contract is insane. I think he makes like
Yeah, that is
57
true.
and then like 60 or something crazy like that in the next 2 years. So he's gonna stick it out and
Stupid.
come back for the money, but he
So
might be
stupid.
cooked
Yeah, he
when he
might be
comes
fucking
back.
cooked. But
Yeah.
what is Doc gonna do? Is Doc just like gonna try to run it with every single team and see what he can do?
I think he's definitely at the whim of like whatever happens with Giannis because I don't know. I mean, they might fire him either way, but he might like be trying to return if they can keep Giannis somehow, which I don't see why they would run it back with both of them, but
Yeah.
um I think he needs to just take some time off. I used to like him on some, whenever he was taking time off, he would go on some pods. I thought he was insightful and his voice is funny. So maybe just do that and golf, man. He loves to golf, apparently. Good thing he has that '08 title, though.
I was gonna say that's literally just keeping his career alive.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, but Clips and Nugs was the other game.
We might be wrong.
Uh, what was that?
We might be wrong on the
Dude, I think we
Clips.
might be wrong on the Clips. And you know, the biggest thing that pisses me off about this fucking series is that I want to see the Clippers play OKC. Like, I don't think the Nuggets are going to match up at all against OKC simply just because Jamal Murray, Kevin Porter, or Michael Porter Jr., and I mean, Christian Braun, fucking Aaron Gordon, they're all having the luckiest series of their life. Like, Jamal Murray, what? He went fucking 7 for 8 last night from three. They shot 52% as a team from three last night. And
Yeah.
dude, it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Like they showed a stat last night that when Giannis is not on the floor, they're like
Jokic.
minus or sorry, Jokic. We're just talking about Giannis, but like
Yeah.
-5. When
Yep.
he's on the court, +15. That's the
Yeah.
craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. And Jamal Murray just pulled out the craziest fucking shooting performance of his life. It's
We've
it's
seen
just a weird.
Jamal
Yeah,
do
I don't
that
know.
before, though. We've seen him do it in the playoffs before. That's what's weird about Jamal as a player. Like, I don't know how to explain him historically because he is hurt most of the regular season usually. It's why he's never been an all-star. He's
And he
pretty
doesn't show up either during
Yeah,
the
he's
regular
pretty
season.
off and on during the regular season. He'll have like a 40-point game and then he'll have like 2 weeks of like 18 points
Yeah.
and like you'll wonder what's going on with him. But we've seen him do this, like pull out games like this in the playoffs, like when they need him most, a lot actually. It's weird. It's I don't know how to like explain him historically because he isn't, from a consistency standpoint, he isn't as good as some of the top two guards in the league. Like he's not as good as Devin Booker. He's not as good as, throw out a top two guard that you would put in the same category as like a Devin Booker. He's not as good as them from a consistency standpoint. But in the playoffs, he turns into like Dwayne Wade sometimes. It's crazy.
It's so weird. He just goes back to like his bubble self and then just starts hitting everything, which
Yeah.
is it pisses me off so much because I'm like, you're not like this. You're not gonna do this in the next round. Like Lou Dort's gonna clamp your ass up and we're gonna forget about you again.
Yeah, Lou Dort is going to be a tough matchup. I do agree with you that the OKC Clippers matchup would be much more fun.
Yeah.
The OKC Denver matchup would basically just be like the most opposite styles you could think of. Like OKC legitimately goes 10 guys deep. They're super deep. They're awesome defensively and they run through Shea, but they really run through as a team. Whereas Denver has 6 guys if Russ decides to play, and it all runs through Jokic. And it's a testament to how good he is. He's cooking the food, he's cutting it up, he's like spoon feeding it to Christian Braun. He's like, here, you go here,
Dude.
perfect.
Christian
And
Braun's
so
pissing me off so much. He's literally
that's the
fucking he's Russell Westbrook 2.0. That's all he is. He does the same shit Russell Westbrook did and just can't hit a fucking jump shot. Just runs the floor as hard as he can. He gets the ball and he just sprint down the fucking court and either clank a layup or hammer the hardest dunk we've ever seen. It
he's got a little
pisses me
fuck
off.
you to him for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
He'll get in your
And
face.
then yeah, and then all of the like Michael Porter Jr. pisses me off. He has always pissed me off. Uh, yeah. Um,
MPJ and Aaron Gordon like basically playing this series on like half a calf for Aaron Gordon and like with no left or right shoulder for MPJ and they're still playing well. It's really crazy, but I think even if like you said if they win this series and they limp into an OKC series, it's going to be quick.
they can't. They can't. And I mean, You see it every fourth quarter. They're up like 15, 20 points, and next thing you know, they're only up like 8.
because their
And
starters
I
have
mean, I
been
thought the
playing
Clippers were
like
going to pull that out
the whole
yesterday.
game.
Yeah, like I thought Zoo was going to pull it off. That man was cooking for us. And then just
Yeah.
nothing. No, I mean, and also, why did James Harden not take a fucking shot? He only took like 8 shots. Norm Powell took like fucking, I don't even know, dude. I hate watching Norm Powell play so much. Like, James Harden is that dude, and he needs to fucking shoot the rock. He needs to quit like dishing it off. Like, he'll drive in the lane and then just dish it off to Norm Powell. Norm Powell fucking just, or he'll do his weird ass little runner where he's like fading away but in the lane. I hate it. Pisses me off.
That was vintage James Harden playoff performance in the worst way. I mean that in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
That was like vintage, like, where the fuck is James Harden? This is an important game. Where is he? Oh, we don't know. I saw somebody make the joke on Twitter that they're having Harden guard Jokic so that he can remember he's out there
That was wild. I had
because
no idea what was going on there.
yeah, they were having like little guys guard Jokic. It kind of worked for a couple possessions. It was weird
Yeah.
because I think he just got confused, but yeah,
Well,
Harden disappeared.
like they would give the ball to Jokic, he would post someone up, and then Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon would just back cut. And no one else is playing defense, they're just staring right at Jokic. And it's like, dude,
It was weird because the Clippers have been one of the better defensive teams, and they've been awesome at like being ready for those back cuts because that's what the whole offense. Everybody's moving, and Jokic is like the Terminator, like deciphering which percentage is the best shot, and then he's going to get it to the best guy. And so it's like I just thought it was a bad night for the Clippers at the worst possible time, and I wouldn't be surprised. I still think they're the better overall team, and they have more options to go to. So I wouldn't be surprised if they won Game 6 at home. But it would be so Clippers in the first year of their new arena to just lay a fucking egg in this game at home.
that would. I also hate the Nuggets jerseys, dude. Why are we wearing those ones, man? What does it even say on it? It's like 5086. Why are we wearing alternative jerseys in the fucking playoffs, man? Like, rep your colors.
I am getting a little tired of the alts in the playoffs. That's something that was pissing me off about Indy as well.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
you know what's pissing me off more is Coach Tibbs.
Oh, shit. Coach Tibbs. I say you can. I got
I,
some words for him if you want to start it off, man.
there's a lot of things that are pissing me off about Tibbs in this series. First and foremost, every single time that Big Purr, Carl Anthony Towns posts up Tobias Harris, the Pistons freak out because he's going to score. Every time that they get that mismatch, he should be posting him up. They never run anything for that to happen. Their offense every time is Brunson beating the air out of the ball at the top of the key for 16 seconds. And then somebody comes up and sets a screen, probably Cat, and then it's whatever happens from there, that's what happens for the possession. And that's great in the regular season, and I'm happy that he has confidence in his starters to play them a bunch of minutes and whatever. And I like Brunson. But seriously, like the way that they have used Cat in this series is like criminal. And Cat's a good enough player that he's still been, shooting well from three and getting his points. But it's like, dude, every time they get the ball to him with Tobias in like, dude, it's a bucket every time. They freak out. The Pistons panic when that happens. And every time that it doesn't happen, they're like, thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't understand the way that they run their offense. I think Tibbs has like this beautiful offense that could happen with Mikhail and movement and OG and movement and Cat coming up and like they have all these pieces. And Tibbs is like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna be a crazy defensive team. We're gonna play everybody 48 minutes and we're gonna run things through Josh Hart sometimes. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So that's my Tibbs rant. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow find a way to lose this series, or if they win this series and then get smoked by the Celtics. He could be a guy that all of a sudden we wake up on like a Monday and he's fired.
Yeah, I wouldn't honestly like probably hours after the series ended, I could see that notification from ESPN just Knicks fire head coach. But I also agree with you with the fucking running offense through Josh Hart. Like you have OG, you have Cat, and you have Jalen Brunson. Like please find someone
Mikhail
else.
too.
Oh, that yeah, exactly. And it's like Brunson beating the fucking ball out of the air. That is hilarious, but that is so true. But they just run pick and roll with Cat. There's either two things are gonna happen. Jalen Brunson is gonna go in the lane. He's gonna fucking pull the parking brake, and someone's gonna run him over, and he's gonna get two fucking free throws. And then, or he's gonna beat the guy, stop at the free throw line, same thing. Guy doesn't foul him, and then he dishes it to Cat, and Cat takes like a 37-footer. And I mean, it's money, but that's not gonna win you the game. And then, uh, shit, yeah, I don't know. And then at the end of the game, Tibbs, 2 minutes left, he has fucking Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson on the bench. He checks them in, like to go to the scorer's table, and fucking he lets another minute run off until he calls timeout. He has another timeout. He just lets it run. Like they're fucking throwing up heaves. Like I love Mikal Bridges. I love fucking Campaign, but they had a terrible fucking night. Like you need Jalen
Yeah.
Brunson in at that time. He's going to be the clutch player of the year for a reason. Why the fuck is he on the bench? And Josh Hart, I
Why?
mean, Josh
Yeah.
Hart has a good game. He's locking everyone down. Like, I mean, other than Tobias Harris, for some reason, Tobias Harris decided to show up when he fucking put on a Pistons uniform.
Toby.
But, yeah, I don't know, dude. I
We've been
like
waiting
watching
on
the Pistons,
Toby.
and I kind of hope they win this series. Yeah, I kind of hope they win this series, dude.
I hope that they win the series too because I love watching Cade and I like watching the Pistons way more than I like watching the Knicks. And I honestly think the result is going to be the same in the next round anyway. Whatever team advances from this is going to lose to the Celtics unless like Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown or somebody gets injured. Like that's the only way that somebody gets through the Celtics. I honestly think the Pistons would maybe present a bigger challenge because they actually run shit on offense. Like and
Mm-hmm.
Cade, honestly, like Cade is better than Jalen Brunson. That's how I feel. I mean, and I know that it's probably too early for that, but like him with the ball in his hands late, I feel better about than the Knicks offense, especially because, dude, at the end of the games, Brunson's been out there for fucking 48 minutes and everything's running through him. And so you missed the part when you said that one of two things is going to happen. He's going to pull the parking brake, get run over by a guy. Yeah, he's going to get two free throws, but he's tiny. He's going to get up and be limping again for the millionth
Yeah.
time, and then we're going to be wondering about Brunson. So I I think it's been like coaching malpractice, honestly, watching Tibbs just stand there. And I think Tibbs it overall is a good basketball coach. You will win games if Tibbs is your coach.
Yeah.
In the regular season, you will win games. You might win a playoff series, but your guys will be beat to shit by the time you get to round two, and it's over at that point. So he's never going to change from that philosophy. He's been pretty consistent, but like, oh my God, man, like this is going back to when I was 8 years old and Derrick Rose tore his ACL. This is what it's going back to. Like, I can't take it.
R.I.P. My guy. I love Derrick Rose. But he needs to let the hair go
RIP.
too, man. That's pretty tough when they pan over to him every time, and it's just fucking like the see-through hair right here.
It's bad. It's
It's
bad. He's got
bad.
bad teeth too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's bad.
Sorry, Tibbs. It's rough. It's rough to. I'd like looking at you a lot more if you had a little offensive creativity.
Mm,
I can't take it.
mm. Speak. Well, shit, man. Takes magic. I feel so bad for Paulo and friends, man. They had absolutely zero help on that fucking floor.
Yeah, and I need Franz to. He needs. We've been saying this for like 2 summers, but like, what happened to the jumper? Like his first 2 years, he shot like 36, 38%, and then he's been like under 30 a season, and then he's like right around 30, and then this season he's like 34. He makes his free throws, and I've seen him shoot the ball well, like his rookie season and his second season. So I don't understand what happened to where it went. There's like a weird hitch in his shot. I'm worried about my guy because I love Franz. This is a Franz pod. Um, and so I want him to develop that. but they just need another. They need another playmaker around him and Paolo, just in general.
I mean, they both kind of play similar. They're both big. They can both shoot. I mean, most of the time.
Yeah,
I think they just need that guy that everyone's like, they put their attention towards one person. And then, like, Paulo and Franz are always going to be there. And they just don't have that guy because everyone's looking at Paulo right now. And Paulo's like, dude, I'm a fucking power forward. Like, I honestly shouldn't bring the ball up every time. And they look at Cole Anthony and they're like, what the fuck? Like, you can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit, kind of a thing.
yeah,
Um, but Franz, or not Franz, but Paulo, that was so tough. I think it was the third quarter, or maybe end of the second. Um, but having 5 fouls and it was tied
that
55-55,
early.
and then he like doesn't play for I don't know, like a whole quarter, and then they're down 20 something. Like that just speaks so much volume to how
Yeah,
like things need to change. I
yeah.
mean, they played well enough to get there. Like you got to give them someone else.
And they won a game against a really good Celtics team. And I think if Jalen Suggs is healthy, they could be a different team. I think going into next year, I saw some things from Anthony Black that I liked. I think like if he develops and you can get something from this Contavious Caldwell Pope contract, and then Suggs
Okay.
comes back healthy, I'm not saying they're gonna like win the East, but like they could win around next year if the nucleus is healthy. I do think they need a better big man option. Like Wendell Carter is a backup big. He's not a starting big. So they need something there. Maybe it's just our guy Mo coming back
I hope. I
healthy.
fucking love Mo.
Yeah, the Wagner brothers come on the pod. This is a Wagner pod.
The
But
Wagner brothers.
anything on the Celtics? I mean, we didn't really learn anything about them at all. It
I mean, they're they can play without Drew. They can play without
yeah,
Jalen. They can play without Jason. It doesn't matter, man.
they're
They
just
got
deep.
the only thing I saw that I liked out of that series was fucking uh God, Joe Mazzulla getting pissed at Jason Tatum and Porzingis getting his fucking head
Yeah.
split open. That shit was awesome. I bet Joe
Yeah.
Mazzulla went to the back and like poured a little shot glass of his blood and was like, "We
Go ahead.
needed this,"
This is
and just
ours.
down the fucking hatch. But yeah, boring series, and I kind of want to see the Celtics fucking Pistons matchup, dude.
I'd
I'm
like to
going
see that.
Pistons money line for my life now.
I'd like to
Always.
see a Pistons Celtics matchup, especially just for like that's a sick jersey matchup. That's like a, old school jersey matchup. And
Yeah.
you know what? I fucking like seeing games at Little Caesars Arena. Give me more Little Caesars Arena games. I
The
like those
Garden
fans.
and Little Caesars, dude. Speaking of arenas, what the fuck is the Nuggets? Like the Bell Arena? Like the Mason jar?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Nuggets arena is, but everybody in there is high. You can tell
Oh,
because they're kind of into it, but it's Denver, so they're just kind of like, you know what, man? If we lose,
I
we lose.
I did notice that because a lot of times I'll be like cooking dinner and I'll like go off of the crowd noise and I'm like, who's fucking like what is going on? Are people scoring or not? And like I can't hear anything and what the fuck is going on? But then
Yeah,
you like listen to the Pacers game and that place is about to erupt, dude.
that the Pacers have like a top three environment. It's kind of
Yeah.
yeah. I mean the Denver fans are all high. They don't know when to get into it or when to not get into it. And then in Phoenix, I used to always like when we would make the playoffs. Everybody looks like they have just got done golfing 36 holes. They're like sunburnt and they're like kind of sweaty and they're hammered, but they're like they're still there. They're like we're here.
That was like their last resort. Like, you want to go watch a Suns
They're
game?
like
Like,
the
fuck
Suns are
yeah.
playing the Pelicans in the first round. We could go sit pretty
Tickets are
close.
tickets are $12, man. Might
Yeah,
as well. Fuck.
let's go do it.
It's awesome. What else we got? We got like the game that's going right now. I don't even know the score. What's the fucking score?
The current score is ooh
Oh my
halftime
god.
76-49 Houston. So Houston's going to send it back to the Bay, it looks like, for a game six.
That's scary. That's even more scary that I took Golden State money line, but who cares?
Yeah, I don't like for my Golden State takes that they're probably going to have to head back to the Bay and just put more miles on, their nucleus is old, so they're going to put more miles on them. But
Yeah. I mean, we
I
can
did
still
want
talk
to
about
say,
the game before, not the night before, but I think it was
yeah,
2 nights before. What the fuck, dude? That was. I mean, I like the intensity and shit, but that was one of the weakest fucking flagrant technicals I've ever seen. Like the one where Curry's on the ground and he's like showing,
yeah,
uh, what's his name, the two, Dylan
Dylan
Brooks.
Brooks.
Uh, and I'm like, dude, you're just trying to play into this whole Draymond arc. Like, do your own thing for once.
I, yeah, the Brooks thing is, I, I just don't like him.
No, I don't
That's
either.
really just all it is. I just don't like him. I think he gave the Rockets something that they needed for their young core, which is like a kind of a Draymond-ish type of like tough guy leader. And I think that that's kind of run its course. I don't like watching him play. I like that Jimmy just looked him right in the face and told him that he's soft and that he's a bitch. Um,
He's a bitch.
but
And the ref said, are you talking to me? He said, no, I'm talking to him.
me, um,
That shit is awesome.
but Draymond is always going to be the creme de la creme of guys like this. He's the guy for this. And I know Draymond has had like a weird few years coming up to this year, like the weird suspension last year, whatever he did to the Kings, where he called a fan a pussy right to his face in the stands, punching Jordan Poole in the face, all the off the court and on the court weird shit that he does. He's still he's 35, dude, but he still can do this for like where for a quarter. He's like, oh yeah, Sengun, that's your guy's best player, right? Okay, he's just not going to score for like 8 minutes,
Yeah.
just for like eight
And
minutes.
even better that Sangoon took the last shot and Draymond fucking D'd his ass up. I love
Body
it.
them, body them
Bodied him.
up, and then let him know too. Let him know too. And he's like giving up size to all these guys. It's just crazy what he can give you on defense. He can guard centers and then also switch onto anybody and lock them up. But I love
Yeah.
when I love this from Kawhi too in his prime. Like whenever they would basically just be like, "Oh, is that the ball? Yeah, I'm just gonna take it. I'll just have that now."
Yeah.
Like, and he's one of those guys that can do that, and I love just when guys can actually play good defense without fouling. Um, he's always been good at like on the border of a foul, but it's not a foul. Like he's just good at that, and he's good at working the refs. Like he talks to them all game, so
Yeah.
I appreciated that from Draymond.
I mean, you're
Um,
always gonna remember, like, you think of Steph's legacy, you're always gonna remember Draymond.
Draymond.
Like, Draymond was his dude. I mean,
Yep.
like, people don't even, I mean, they remember KD, but, like, you don't think of KD when you think of Steph winning championships.
You think of
Like,
Clay and you think of Draymond, but you think of Draymond more because Clay had to leave.
yeah.
That's
I
just
mean,
the
Dre even took the
reality.
cut. He was like, I'm
Yep.
gonna stay here with this guy that fucking shoots 50% from three and, like, shoots from half court. Like, this is sick. I don't know.
Yeah. And all the movement, and he's a perfect fit for what they run. But he just gives you a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, and he's still awesome now to this day, but like 2016 to like 2019, Draymond is like a ridiculous player. Like it's
Dude,
stupid.
2K16 Draymond was wild. That man was way too
Insane.
good. I don't know what they did to him, but
They souped him up.
they did fucking
But
soup him up. And then we got the one tonight, passing of the torch. I
yeah,
think that Anthony Edwards could do the coolest fucking thing if he takes this shit. Like, Warriors win that series. Obviously, Wolves win that series. He beats LeBron. He beats Curry and Draymond. And then who knows if the Nuggets make it, if the Clippers make it, if OKC makes it. Like OKC and the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. I mean that it might as well be passing the torch right there. Like two the biggest young superstars going head to head. I think that would be fucking sick.
yeah. Um, I'm looking forward to that because I do think the Wolves are going to win this series, but I think tonight is going to be one of those games where the fouls are going to be like 42-3 in favor of the Lakers. I think this is going to be an extended series
Yeah.
at home for the Lakers. But then I do think they're going to go back to Minnesota and that the Wolves will put them away. And I'm looking forward to whoever is in their path moving forward. I'm excited to see what Ant does. I really, really, really hope that we get an OKC Minnesota matchup, just because I think that would be like one of the most fun matchups between two young, awesome teams. Plus, I want to see like at that point you can let Ant guard Shea on big possessions, and when he has big possessions and he's not in foul trouble, he can D up anybody too. So I think that's the most fun outcome for just entertainment is a Western Conference Finals of OKC and Minnesota. But you know, got to get through the Lakers first. I know it's 3-1, but LeBron and Luca. I know that literally nothing that I've watched in this series suggests to me that the Lakers can win, but it's still scary.
Yeah. I mean, it's always scary when Luca's on the floor.
Yep.
And I mean, LeBron's not as intimidating or crazy that, well, what, he dropped like 30 something when Luca wasn't there?
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, he can still do his thing, but I don't think it's going to be to the same level, obviously. He's aged. And besides the Pistons, man, the Timberwolves are the best team to watch in the playoffs. I think that's the
Yeah.
most fun team to watch. Nas Reed, our guy, is still going fucking crazy. Um, Ant is wild. Even Mike Conley, dude. Mike Conley's putting in some minutes for him.
Mikey.
So
I miss my guy Mikey. I like
I like
watching Mike
seeing
play.
the lefty strap too. The lefty
Yeah.
strap is nice.
Yeah. I always just think about those Memphis teams with Zach Randolph and Marcus Gasol and him. That always
Fire.
that was prime for him. But
Prime.
the last thing I have on this, the Lakers thing, is can we stop on like social media pretending that I see people being like, this could be LeBron's last game. Buddy, when it's LeBron's last game, trust me, he's having a year-long farewell
Yes.
goodbye tour. He is not gonna just say deuces and like. Can we be serious? That's so stupid.
No. That'll never happen. There's gonna be a tribute video at every fucking arena. Games are gonna
Exactly.
take 3 hours. They're gonna give him fucking like something at halftime, like a statue or some shit.
Yes.
No, I have been seeing those tweets and I've been really confused because I thought he like said something pre-game that like this could be my last one kind of a thing, and I'm like searching for it and I can't find shit. So I don't
No.
fucking know. I don't fucking know. But I don't think it's gonna be. I think possibly next season,
Yeah.
possibly the season after that. I don't know if he's gonna wait till Bryce gets in the league, which would be fucking wild. I think Bryce is gonna be better than Bronny though.
Well, if he can just crack a rotation, he'll be better than Bronny.
That
I
is
mean,
true. Dude, but Bronny Loki drops like 30 something in the G League, like whenever he plays, but I don't know.
well, his dad's the boss, so I'll just leave it at that.
That's
Um,
another thing. Is LeBron gonna join like the Lakers staff after? Like I could see him and JJ just running the team.
if you're JJ, that's basically like signing your your death sentence because as soon as it goes bad for you, they're just going to be like, "Hey, isn't our assistant coach like one of the best players of all time? Let's just hire him."
Yeah, that is true. I'd take it over then.
It'd be kind of funny.
It would
Um,
be kind of funny.
but yeah, that's
Um,
that's it on that.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much it on fucking the NBA as of right now, but there's still some puck going on. I haven't really watched any games other than the tremendous parlay that I should have gone opposite on.
Yeah, you guys are welcome for that. Shout out to that. I was on fire coming into that, but that cooled me off. But the only thing I got to say about puck, I've been watching a lot of puck. I love watching playoff hockey. Um, I do watch some regular season hockey, but only my Ducks who happen to stink. But I've been watching this Kings Edmonton series because I want to watch McDavid and Draisaitl. They're the most fun to watch. And I just got to say, I don't understand the Kings as a team. They do this thing, and apparently, I'm not going to pretend that I'm like a hockey guy, but when I listen to the hockey people, they tell me that the Kings always do this. But as an outsider coming in, I don't understand why they come out like with their hair on fire and they go up like 2-0 like every game. And then they just retreat into their zone and basically play not to lose for like the next 40 minutes and everybody is live tweeting about it, basically saying, "Oh, the Kings are doing this again," and then they lose 3-2 in overtime every single game. And apparently, they fired their coach last year because they were like, "We don't want to play this way anymore," and now they're just doing it again. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like a puck expert, but what the fuck are the Kings doing? That's what I have to say.
Noah's take on puck, man. I got. What's your favorite goal siren horn thing so far?
I like what the Minnesota Wild do. I think that they get super, super, super hyped up. But the Kings, they do the harmonicas, and I think that's fire. I wanted the
I
Kings
did see.
to keep
I
going
was, I
because of
did
that.
see a bunch of harmonica like getting smashed and shit, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But I'm glad I
Yeah,
know
they do the
now.
harmonicas. I think it's fire. I want the Kings to keep going, but I also like watching McDavid, so I don't really want to. I'm kind of contradicting myself, but I like the harmonicas. I've kind of
No,
adopted the Minnesota Wild. I think that they just play kind of fun, and I like watching them. So if they can keep advancing, I'll be happy. Um, I did fill out a bracket. My bracket is
no.
is oh yeah, and my bracket is it's chalk. It's as chalk as can be. I've got Jets and Hurricanes playing for the cup, and I got the Canes coming out on top. So you heard it here first.
Canes, Jets. What is that? Winnipeg and
Winnipeg and Raleigh, North Carolina.
holy fuck!
Oh
I
yeah.
heard the Leaves are playing kind of good, right?
Well, they're doing the Leafs thing where they went up 3-0 and then now they've lost two straight. So, but I do like
Aren't
watching
the
the Leafs because I
Capitals
like Matthews.
also? Did the Capitals finish like first, and now they're kind of choking?
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, they're about to finish off Montreal. They're winning right now to clinch it as we speak.
Oh,
They're
nice,
up 3-0 with like going into the third period. So,
nice.
um,
Man,
so yeah,
I don't think we give up on the puck parlays, man. I don't think we give up on it. I think
I've
we
been on
are.
fire with Puck. Honestly, until I gave out picks, I was on fire, and then yesterday I gave out no picks and I went 2-0 again. So
We can try something. We can not say it on the pod, and then you just post it on Twitter, and then only the people that are following us on Twitter get the insight. Because the pod
yeah,
might be the bad luck.
exactly.
We don't know about the Twitter.
Yep, that might be the bad luck.
No.
Um, last thing I want to talk about that's random. I don't even think it's in the show notes, but we can talk about it. Are we worried about Bill Belichick?
Dude. I
I'm a little
so I
worried.
was listening to a couple pods and they were talking about Jordan. And I was just like, they're over
Yep.
exaggerating or whatever. And then I watched the fucking 60 Minutes thing or whatever it was, the thing about his book. And she's kind of a bitch, man.
She's
Like,
scary, man.
like when they were like, so how'd you guys meet? She's like, we're not talking about this. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, why not? Isn't that like the biggest thing when you're a couple? Like, how'd you guys meet? Isn't it like sparks supposed to fly or some shit? I don't
I guess
understand.
I'll just say like, they probably met on like one of those websites that's for rich older men, you know?
No.
But here's the thing. He asked how'd you guys meet? You don't have to tell him the truth. How do you
No.
guys not have a story? You're getting interviewed on CBS and you're there with him. They're going to talk about the relationship. You guys have been together for a while. How have you not come up with the story like, oh, I don't know, we saw each other, at a restaurant downtown and then Bill was just so charming. It's like, no, how have you not figured out how to like get around the fact that they found each other online somehow, obviously.
Yeah. The thing, well, I forgot when it first came out. I think it was a little bit before he took the job in North Carolina, but there's a story that came out that they met on a flight and they were like sitting next to each other. And I'm just like, why didn't you stick to that? Like now everyone's asking like, was that bullshit? Which obviously it was, but why didn't you just stick to it,
They
man?
should have stuck to that. That would have been perfect. We sat on a flight and Bill, I tell you what, he's a charming guy when you get him going. It's like that's just perfect. There you go. But now that they said we're not talking about that, everybody's speculating like me, like, oh, are you? I've seen people being like, are you an escort? That's what people are saying online. And it's like, you know, come out and say something.
Did you see the video of him leaving her house on like the ring
Yeah.
camera?
Yeah.
That shit, I saw that for the first time. That had me fucking dead.
But that CBS
Bill looks
interview,
good with the shirt off though, man. He's kind of He's got it. He's got some fucking cannons, dude. I'd be scared of him too.
Hey man, him and LeBron, they're aging like fine wine. Just him and LeBron.
I mean, I kind of also have some random things that I saw. Um, Scrolling through Twitter, I think, and I was looking at the draft grades. The only draft grade that had an A plus for Mel Kiper. Can you guess what team it is?
Was it the Browns?
Yes, the team that took two quarterbacks. Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
and took Gabriel before anybody even like thought to look for Gabriel on their
Yeah,
board.
crazy.
It's because they took Shador, obviously. Um, yeah, Mel Kiper's had a bad like run here. You know,
Bad
I
couple
used to,
weeks. He just needs to stop.
yeah, I used to like find him to be pretty entertaining. He's pretty funny. I never thought he was good at like assessing the draft, but I thought he was funny.
No.
He's just become a psycho on TV, and then now giving out only an A plus to the Browns, who had a good draft outside of the two quarterback thing. But the two quarterback thing was weird,
Mm-hmm.
so that's
Very
not an A
weird.
plus. That's
I
like a
mean,
B.
no one gets an A plus either. You should have just gave him an A like everyone else.
Yeah,
It's
Str-
crazy. And also
strange.
draft grades are so weird because you have no idea how they're gonna play. But I think it like as far as what players are gonna fit the mold, like what they need. I think that's smart. But like you don't know how the fuck they're gonna play. They could blow their knee out tomorrow getting groceries or some shit.
No, draft grades are dumb, but everybody eats it up. I mean, I remember when the Seahawks had their draft where they took like Bobby Wagner, Russell Wilson, Bruce Irvin, and like KJ Wright, they got like a D minus. Like everybody was like, "What the fuck is Pete Carroll and John Schneider doing?" And then they won the Super Bowl a year later with a lot of those guys basically being the best players. So
Yeah. Also, I saw something about the Seahawks. They just signed their first fifth year option to.
they so yeah, the fifth year option became a thing in 2011.
And they've
Since then,
never.
the Seahawks have never picked up a fifth year option on any of their first round picks until Charles Cross, our left tackle. He's a stud.
He's
He's
a
going to get
stud.
extended after this year. I'm sure it's going to be a huge extension because we need to keep the offensive line intact. So I was happy to see that. And I'm happy he's the first one,
I
whatever.
mean, good first one to have, especially at a tackle spot where you guys need a little bit of help.
Exactly.
My other one, Henry Ruggs. Did you see the thing that came out
That he's been
with
training
Josh
from prison.
Jacobs?
Yeah.
So Josh Jacobs is technically supposed to be in prison. I think he kind of turned himself in. Someone should probably take him to prison.
Um, Henry Ruggs training from prison is hilarious. And then his agent putting out like, yeah, teams are interested. Who? Who?
Who? The
I
same
would like
people
to
that were
know these
interested in
teams.
Mike Vick after he got out of prison.
Yeah, I would like to know who these teams are,
Yes.
because that's going to be a lot of backlash, and it's the NFL. So like, I'm not willing to like, dude. Greg Hardy played games after those pictures came out of him, and is like, dude, this is this is the NFL. So if you can produce on the field, you can have killed somebody, and they will have
Ray
you on the
Lewis.
field. Ray Lewis, who was the
Ben
something little?
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Roethlisberger, something little. Do you remember that? Leonard Little or whatever his name was from the Rams. This
Oh, yeah.
dude,
Also, I mean, Ray Rice,
yeah,
Leonard Fournette,
yes. So like,
uh,
dude, if you can produce,
Steve Smith.
yeah, if you can produce, man, you will play. But I don't see how anybody can like first day out of prison, first day out, be like, yep, all right, go ahead and send the team car over, pick him up, and we'll get him over to the facility.
It's also like Josh Jacobs was what do you say? He's like they're letting him train. What does that mean? Are the prison guards like letting him run routes or something? Or like they just letting him do some push ups in the yard? I don't understand like what that means.
Do you think Ruggs has like cred in prison, like because he played a little bit of ball, or do you think guys hate him because of that? Like, what's the vibe?
So the only thing I would say that he has cred is just because he played for the Raiders. I think
Yeah,
that's the only cred he's got. I mean,
yeah. I think once guys find out what he
what
did,
he's
they
from?
probably
Is he
hate
from
him.
Alabama?
He
Like
went
he
to
grew up in
Alabama, but I don't
Alabama?
know where he's from.
Hmm.
Let me
I think he's
see.
He's from wherever Josh Jacobs is from. But I thought that was hilarious. And my last thing, I don't know if you've been seeing it, but there's a bunch of fucking videos surfacing of Justin Fields at practice, and he's throwing absolute darts,
Oh yeah.
and it kind of pisses me off. But I just wanted to throw that out there that I hope Justin Fields has a great year. Um, I really wanted to keep him. I don't know why they didn't, because they could have signed him. Like, I mean, I bet we could have signed him for 15. What, he got 20?
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
got
2 year
20 and then I
15?
think it's 30 with incentives or something.
We could have gave that out, man.
I don't want this to come off as disrespectful to Justin Fields because I want him to do well. But a Justin Fields workout video, like of him throwing dimes at the facility, sort of feels like when I get on Twitter a few years ago and Ben Simmons posts a dunk video and he's like, watch out, I'm in the lab. Or like he
We,
has a video of him like shooting 1 3 and he's like, I've been in the lab, watch out.
bro, we never talked about Ben Simmons trying to post up Jokic.
Or the fact that he has cornrows now. What happened? What?
Fire.
Uh,
He had to change something up.
hey,
But
Ben
for
Simmons has.
everyone,
Oh, go.
yeah, I was gonna say for everyone that didn't see Jokic or Ben Simmons took a two drop steps on Jokic, pump fake, sky hook, air ball.
Yeah, one of the worst
Only
shots
shot he
I've
took
seen.
of the game. Only shot he took of the game. I don't know if he
One
played.
one of the joys of this series when he does check in for me is seeing him try to trick us into thinking that he's doing something. Like he'll pull down a rebound, defensive rebound, and he'll hustle up the court. But as soon as he passes half court, he's like, "How the fuck can I get rid of this? And don't give it back to me.
And he's
Keep that thing
also
away."
guarding a big, dude. Every single time it's like, are you a defensive specialist now on bigs?
I just can't like, dude. There's for anybody out there, just go on YouTube and type in Ben Simmons like rookie year highlights. He was good, man. Like I don't understand
Oh
what
yeah.
happened. Something broke in his
He won the
something broke.
he won the All-Star game MVP that year too.
Rookie of the year. He was on the all defense team like his first 3 seasons. He was an all NBA player for like his middle 3 seasons. He was like first team or what's it called? He was a defensive player of the year finalist. He was an MVP finalist his third year in the league.
That's
MVP.
insane. Insane.
And now he can't even like see the court. It's something broke in that Hawks series where he couldn't make free throws.
Dude, him and Markel Fultz just tough to see.
Head cases.
Head cases.
It's tough.
Ah, yeah. But my last thing was a quick birthday shout out to Mallory Swanson, Dansby Swanson's wife. She
Oh,
plays
okay.
for the Chicago Red Stars. Um, should be captain of the U.S. Women's National Team. Big shout
Let's
out to
go.
Mallory. Love her. But
Shout
other than
out to
that, I
her
mean,
and shout out to Justin Fields for being a good sport about me comparing him to Ben Simmons
wow,
when he comes on the pod later. So,
that needs to be tweeted.
but thanks for listening, y'all, for the midweek episode. Kind of an extended midweek episode.
It's kind of
There's a
nice,
lot to
kind of
get to
cooked.
though. A lot to get to. Follow, subscribe, keep up.
Like,
Yeah,
do it
like
all.
whatever you want to
Spotify,
do.
whatever you want to do. Just don't let tail the parlays. That's about it. But
Yep. All right. See y'all
we
later.
will see you Monday.